I'm Jonathan Worsley, and on this FHS podcast, I've got Maya Ziadeh, Chief Development Officer for Premium Midscale Economy Division at Accor, overseeing Middle East, Africa, and Turkey. Maya, great to have you on this podcast.
Thank you so much, Jonathan, for having me, and it's always good to see you.
That's great. It's good to see you too. And listen, tell us a little bit about how you got into the hospitality industry. I gather it's quite an interesting background.
It's a long story. You want the long story or the short one? Actually, I have a legal background. I don't have hospitality background. I always say, I had a recent podcast where I said, it's my parents wanted me to study legal, but hospitality was my choice. So I chose hospitality. I love the challenge that comes with development. I love to take part, of transforming the hospitality sector. I love to take part of providing experiences to people and being part of this experience. When I think of signing a project, when I think of this project being constructed and built, and then, in one of the room, you will have a story, you will have a family, kids around, they will have their own experiences. So for me, it's amazing. It's transforming the hospitality, taking part of people's experiences. And that's why, I've been in hospitality for the past 23 years.
Yeah.
But I'm not old, Jonathan.
No, we know that, Maya, and it's such a great industry. Everybody that's in it, tends to love our industry, don't they? It's there's so many facets to it, and one of your facets is, of course, growing the Saudi industry for Accor, with FHS Saudi around the corner in a few weeks' time. Tell us what you're doing in that market. I mean, the growth is just phenomenal, off the scale. But how are you participating in that growth?
Well, absolutely. It's Saudi is experiencing one of the most ambitious transformation the hospitality world has ever seen, and it's a phenomenal shift. And Accor is fully aligned with this vision. So we are well established in the kingdom. We have 30-year history of operating hotels in the kingdom. So it's a strong foundation to start with. We have 45 hotels across 15 brands. And this is from the luxury to premium, mid-scale economy, as well as lifestyle with Ennismore. And by 2030, we're planning to double this pipeline. We're planning to have 44 more hotels to add to our Saudi portfolio. This includes strategic participation in Giga projects in the kingdom. And one of the most iconic projects is Ru'al Madinah, for example, where we have signed Novotel, Swiss Hotel, Fairmont, and those are part of a mixed-use development, of course, in partnership with Ru'al Madinah holding company. Another Giga project, and this was signing of last year, is Tribe. And this is the first Middle East Tribe signed in the region, as well as Tribe Living, which was also the first, it considered to be the first Tribe Living, and now globally. So it's not only in the region. Again, we are well established in terms of hotels, but we also have a local presence in Saudi. And with our office in Jeddah, we've added a vice president of development recently. And this individual will be responsible to expand further our presence in the kingdom and to focus especially on partners and on local partners. So the growth is, we have ambitious growth strategy, but it's, we always say it's not only about scale alone, right? It's about sustainable expansion. It's about how we can support Saudi Arabia target to attract over 100 million visitors by 2030. And our expansion is not limited to the Kingdom flagship cities. So we mentioned Medina, we mentioned Riyadh, but we also have a huge focus on secondary destinations like Al-Baha, like Dahran, these areas that are rich in culture and they have potential. And we have Novotel and Novotel Living Dahran, which is set to open within the next 12 months. And Handwritten Collection in Al-Baha, which is also set to open in 2027.
Just moving on, you mentioned Jeddah just recently. I'm going to be flying to Jeddah soon. You've opened the Rixos there as well, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, look forward to having a look at that. And so that's sort of that there has been a huge focus on the luxury segment. But you're really pushing down into the regions, into the mid-market opportunities, providing spaces for those local Saudis who don't necessarily and don't want to spend the money on luxury properties, moving into the secondary destinations makes huge sense. And what is your feeling on the demand for the regional cities?
Yeah, we're definitely, we're still focused on luxury, but we feel that with our diverse portfolio and with the Saudi expansion, there is more of mid-scale and economy opportunity. And this goes, for certain factors, like one of them is diversification in traveler base. And you can see as Saudi opens up for new demand, we're seeing more diverse travelers base. So it's no longer the ultra high net worth individual who want to have the luxury experience, but also the domestic travelers, the regional families, the business guests, and of course, in addition to religious pilgrims. But the most important part we're seeing is the younger, the more budget conscious tourist. And that what's defining the expansion, or what's supporting the expansion of the mid-scale and economy now. And another factor, you have the Saudi's ambition to attract more than 100 million visitors annually. So that means you need more mid-scale, you need more economy segment to meet the volume of mass tourism. And in terms of development, we're seeing more investors who are seeing opportunity in mid and eco because they deliver strong return. And the most important part, in order to be able to meet, the Saudi expansion and to deliver certain number of rooms by 2030, speed and agility is key, and this to reflect the market's demand. So from development perspective, again, mid and eco are quicker to build, and they are easier to operate and deliver operational efficiency. So, and I'll give you a fact: 2 in every 3 openings in the region now are falling under mid-scale and economy.
Is that right? That's so interesting. You speak about the multi-local strategy at Accor. Can you explain a little bit more about that strategy?
Yes, definitely. We're with today's traveler, whether it's domestic or international traveler, we are noticing that these travelers are seeking more than just a place to sleep. They want an authentic experience that connect them to the culture and connect them to the people in the destination itself. So one of the most strategic shifts that we've made at Accor is actually moving from one size fits all model and to a multi-local approach that celebrates each destination's unique identity. And this mindset shapes everything we do, from the way we design hotels, from the way we craft guest experiences. So instead of imposing, what used to be done, is imposing standard global template, we're trying to build the destination with the destination in mind. We're trying to be, deeply rooted to the destination. And we're fortunate to have brands like the Mercure in our portfolio. It's a brand that it's deeply rooted in authentic local character and embraces the cultural spirit. And this is key now, especially for the second wave cities in Saudi Arabia. And one of a great example that I could give is our recent opening, the Mercure Khamis Mshed in Asir region. And it is developed in partnership with AMSA Hospitality. We signed a master development agreement with AMSA 2 years ago, and this is our first opening. This hotel is located in Abha, and every aspect of the design was influenced by the surrounding landscape. It's located, surrounded by the mountain. So you could see the design is being reflected in the hotel to ensure the guest is experiencing the surrounding area within the hotel, but also the cultural heritage.
And when did the hotel open?
The hotel opened a month ago.
A month ago. So so far so good?
Yes, of course. And it's part of the master development agreement with AMSA, so we have more to come.
Yeah, no, that's great. Fantastic. So, and that makes a huge sense to have that sort of local approach to your development plan to bring in that authenticity. But what's the most exciting trend or disruptive force that you see shaping the sector at the moment or in the next 5 years?
What excites me most, specifically about Saudi hospitality sector is it's not really a place to grow or to scale. Although I'm in development, I love growth and expansion. This is what we do, but it's the boldness of the vision. And we're no longer just talking about just adding hotel rooms or expanding inventory, but we're witnessing the creation of a new destination. And I'm really blessed. I feel blessed to be part of it. So places like, for example, Red Sea, like Amala, like Neom, like the Riyadh Gate, they are really setting the standards of what tourism looks like, not only in the region, but globally. And especially with the approach that they are taking. So it's not just, an ambition. It's they take the approach with intention. And there is a real focus on blending technology, sustainability, while preserving cultural identity. So, this incredible momentum across the development. And for Accor, we're growing right along with it. It's with the portfolio that we have in Saudi, 15 brands, 45 brands globally. We are able to match the right concept to the right place and location. So from premium with Pullman, Movenpick, Swiss Hotel, to design-led like the Tribe, mid-scale and economy like Mercure, like Henderson Collection, and Ibis. And, in the next 5 years, we will double our presence in the kingdom, and we are introducing new brands like the Tribe and Tribe Living.
No, exciting. And we're working in one of the most dynamic markets in the world right now that have a great vision. Not many countries have a vision like they do. So, yeah, it is exciting to be participating in this. And I suppose one of the big challenges, though, is of course staffing and making sure we've got the staff to provide the service once these hotels are open. What are you doing to making sure you've got lots of hotels opening coming down the pipeline? That must be one of the challenges for the operators, isn't it? To make sure that they've got enough staff to operate these hotels.
For Accor, we have partnered up with the Ministry of Tourism with the Tamayas, for the Tamayas program that we have. This is to support local talents, and we are really working along with the Ministry of Tourism and along with the team on the ground to ensure that these Saudi talents are taking later on places in our hotels, in our 45 hotels that are coming, 44 hotels, that are coming to Saudi. But also, what we are doing is empowering women in hospitality. So for the past 5 years, we have we've added 250,000 jobs. They were created in travel and tourism in Saudi, and 60% of those have been captured by women. And that tells you a lot. That tells you we should actually focus on these women to take more and more jobs. So at Accor, we are deeply committed to make the change and to support women in hospitality. So we have announced many programs. Many programs and initiatives. One of them is RISE. This is a program designed to support women as they transition into executive leadership roles. We have launched also She Leads, and this is in Saudi Arabia and in Africa as well. It is a platform for purposeful networking. We have also announced, and we're working on a program that is called Women in Hospitality. It targets high potential female leaders, those who are ready to take on their first GM or operational leadership within the next 18 months. So we have many initiatives, whether, on local basis with Tamayas, and it's a 360-degree program, or initiatives to support women in the hospitality sector.
Well, I know you're absolutely passionate about this, the whole Women Power campaign, and we've launched our Women Power campaign last year at FHS to get more women participating at the event. And you were on a session, weren't you, with Sheikha last year, speaking about women empowerment. What were some of your takeaways from that session, if you can remember?
It was a great session, and we had great feedback. Lynn, Sheikha, and I, once we finished the session. The first takeaway was actually, other than I have truly enjoyed the presence of the ladies. They are amazing, and we were connected, although it was the first time I see them. But we all we discovered that we all face almost the same battles. We all face almost same challenges. It's just speaking about these challenges, supporting each other, and most importantly is the confidence that should come from within us and should be reflected outside. But the most thing that struck me in this panel is we all agreed that we should have somehow a space or what we call a comfort zone. So whether, it's Sheikha, for example, likes to exercise, and this is her comfort zone. For me, it's, having a coffee and reading my book. It's my comfort zone. So it's how we, within the world of business and busyness, it's how we balance between personal and professional life.
And I know you have a close association as well with your sisters, I think.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I listened to that part. Anyway, Maya, that's fantastic. And but just going back to our conferences, yes, future hospitality. We want to talk about the future, talk about these initiatives like Women Power and everything else. But at the heart of all this is the investors. And it's key to make sure that we're dealing with the investors. How has that sort of changed since you've been involved in Saudi and the different investors that you have for your products? How do you deal with them? Or do you adapt to each one, or is it more of a cookie cutter approach? How does it work?
What we do, especially at Accor, we think like an owner. So that means, we approach every opportunity with the long-term mindset. We understand the type of owners we're working with, the type of owners we're dealing with, and what's their expectations. So, it's very important to understand that behind every hotel, there is someone who's not only making a huge investment in terms of capital, but also has a vision. And this person wants to see the vision materializes. And what's important also, it's not only this, but also the trust that this investor wants to have, because they are building a relationship, they are building a long-lasting relationship. So owners, they want to know that we're listening. They want to know that we are invested in their success and that we are committed to it for the long term, and not only trying to sell our brands. That's the mindset that we bring to every project, and that's how we've built long-term success across such a diverse and dynamic region. So at the end, it's we succeed when our owners succeed, and that starts with listening, with adapting, and with building lasting trust.
Well, that makes sense. That whole collaboration that goes on to create that vision for that particular property, and that must be one of the more exciting aspects of the job as well. Is collaborating with the owners to come up with the vision, to come up with the product, and then see it succeed.
Absolutely, and it's no longer the operator's approach. It's a partnership. It's a collaboration between operator and investors to come up, with something unique. Again, taking into consideration the investment that every owner is making and every owner has behind the project, and the vision, because especially in this region, it's not only about investment, but it's also about adding the personal touch in every project, and leaving this legacy, to their children.
Yeah, and working with the communities as well.
100%.
Excellent. Maya, listen, this has been so much fun. I've really enjoyed speaking to you today, and look forward to seeing you in a few weeks' time from the 11th to 13th at the Al Faisalia Hotel, the Mandarin Oriental, for FHS Saudi. Very much looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, Jonathan, and I look forward to seeing you in Riyadh very soon.